Let's get this thing cracking. Welcome to the Stonnerzzz Den. I am B. Serious.
I am Bob Stone.
I'm Rizla Rala Sativa.
J Presidential.
DJ Cool J in the building.
And we missing a few brothers today. But that's all good. They with us all the time. Before we start this thing, we would like to say R.I.P. to our sister, Wins.
Wins life.
Wins life. You already know what it is. We love you. And for everybody that know us, y'all know what it is, man. This is that time. Roll your joints.
Roll them up. Hey, is that shit turned up? The
sprinkle.
Yeah. The sprinkle turned all the way up, like to the max.
Where you need to be at,
Yeah.
Y'all know what time it is. Roll your joint.
Time to roll up.
Fire that shit up. Fire that shit up.
Damn,
fire that shit up. Like we about to fire up these topics in this conversation. Y'all already know what it is. This is Welcome to the Stonnerzzz Den podcast and radio show. And y'all keep it locked right here. We doing this thing live from LTD Studios. LTD Studios. Make sure you follow those that want to get their rap on, they singing on, or your
podcast
podcast, your audio book, your anything of audio recording.
But not anything.
Audio recording. If they want to come in here and make all types of weird sounds over the mic, they can. Hey, you paying. And we do got that special.
Money talk.
3 hours for $100. 3 hours for $100.
Can't beat that.
3 hours for 100 chips. 3 hours for 100 dinero. 3 hours
for 100 pesos.
3 hours for 100.
100 yens.
3 hours for 100
Canadian dollars. Nah. Because that shit ain't worth more than, you know what I'm saying? So, keep that.
So y'all know what it is.
But shout out to all my Canadian people, though.
Mm-hmm.
I fucks with you.
How about some
Yeah,
yen?
you can get your 3 hours for 10,000 pennies.
Yeah, I mentioned yen. What'd you say?
10,000 pennies.
10,000 pennies. Who finna sit there and count them bitches?
Hey, man. Somebody who really trying to get in there. Somebody who really trying to get in that booth. Y'all know what the time it is. LTD Studios for all recording. Y'all hit us up. Plus, this also is brought to you by 9 Life Radio. WLYF, 9 Life Radio.
9 Life Radio.
I thought that was coming in. That's why I ain't say nothing. I thought he was hitting the button. Or you looked at me like you were about to hit it.
I thought that was a cue for something.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into these topics of the day. Right before we get into these topics, we're going to let this beat play for a minute. And this beat is brought to you by 9 Life Production. Trust that. Hit us up for those beats. And we're back. Welcome to the Stonnerzzz Den. I am B. Serious.
I am Bob Stone.
I'm Rizla Rala Sativa.
J Presidential.
DJ Cool J.
Yo, we in the building.
Yes, we are. Hey man, we got a few topics to bring up for y'all today, man. We just it's really a vibe today. We doing an old school traditional welcome to the Stonnerzzz Den show. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't in the den today, so we're gonna do it a certain way. Really, we just vibing and having us some fun smoking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Which we always do. But today is one of those days.
We'll start off with.
In today's news. No, but at around 5 o'clock a.m. this morning, from Tampa to Orlando, 2 sonic booms could be heard from that span, you know?
Sonic
And,
booms.
Not from Street Fighter, eh?
Yeah, like some fucking, no, like Sonic, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. But it's a real thing. A sonic boom is like an explosion, like almost like a backfire, most of the time from some kind of spacecraft.
The Blackbird do it too, you know, that Blackbird.
Yeah,
shit.
you know?
Getting up to a different Mach range,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mach 7, stuff like that.
It creates a sonic boom, you know? And some sources are saying that it could be from a spacecraft that NASA sent into orbit in 2020, and it returned. I mean, I don't know if that is true. I think it's kind of fucked up if NASA doesn't give like the neighbors like a heads up. Hey, you know, we're gonna have a freaking explosion tomorrow morning. You know, you might wanna, you know, look out.
What a way to wake
Well,
up.
I mean, right. 'Cause I was about to say that now they really ain't gonna give no warnings on that. They'll let you know if something is, you know what I'm saying, landing in Cape Canaveral or something like that or whatever. But as far as them sonic booms, though, shit, you get it how you get it. That shit'll shake your whole house.
And again, that's just one theory. There hasn't been any official statement given by NASA or any other organization within the government explaining or detailing the exact facts behind this.
So you know they not gonna do that. They gonna shit just like they hide everything else. They gonna
Or
hide
was that even a NASA aircraft?
You know, maybe it was maybe it was the big ass meth labs. It just blew up.
Man, that had to be a huge meth lab.
Hey man.
Or could have been
From Tampa to Orlando,
Yeah.
yeah.
That bitch, hey.
you gotta hear it. When you hear it, you're like, oh, that's not normal
Oh.
shit.
Or it could have been a UFO.
Or IFO.
IFO.
Yeah, identified.
Straight up. Cause they know what it is.
They know. Trust me, they know.
Exactly. But yeah, that a few captures of footage have been released, like from different people's house on their porches and stuff, like from people who have like cameras, you know, in their backyard and shit.
Yeah.
And you could hear the explosion, and you know it's not just like something normal. It's not, you know, something you hear every day, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, that's something to look into. But there hasn't, again, been any official statement released stating exactly what it was that I know of yet. There's just been theories speculating going around. And as we know, there's been a lot of speculation over NASA and their explorations and funding and so on. You know,
Trying to keep shit hidden.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies. I was just watching something about JFK writing a letter 10 days prior to his assassination. And they haven't been able to prove, of course, if there's a correlation to him getting assassinated. But he did write a letter to the CIA stating that he wanted the CIA to release any information they have regarding UFOs or alien activity to NASA. And he also was suggesting that NASA and the CIA should share whatever information they have regarding space activity with the Soviet Union, and that they should partner together in trying to accomplish the moon landing. And
Yeah, sounds good.
10 days later, pew,
Out of here.
you know, so that's a conspiracy theory that's been going around for a long time. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to look into. Again, I'm neither pro or anti any of these theories. I'm just merely presenting facts for you to do your own research.
Just tell me how much.
Talking to your mic, bro.
How many balloons they blowing up with all that helium they buying over there at NASA? They buy more helium than anybody in the world every year.
How much the moon costs?
The moon is $7.99 if you go to Walmart.
Shout out to everybody tuned in right now. 9 Life Radio.
What is it? $79.99?
$7.99.
$7.99.
Walmart ain't really got the good material one, but
Yeah,
you know.
That's all you need.
pretty much. Pretty much.
Well, NASA really ain't gonna not really tell you what they're doing.
so much
They don't
air.
really have to. So,
Air.
if they release a statement, then that'll be good for everybody to know what happened, because I'm quite sure it woke some people up, right?
Hey, a boom like that.
It was in the middle of the night.
Sonic
And
boom.
The people that had the footage, like, you could tell it was far. So I can imagine people who didn't have it on footage who were probably closer to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what happened, man. Somebody got drunk and went over there to the stadium.
You let them cannons go.
Let them go.
Like Marshawn.
Over there to the stadium.
Marshawn.
Yeah,
Over there just mashing buttons.
right.
Let them cannons.
That was
Boom. Mashing
That's
buttons.
loud and scary, boy.
Let them cannons.
was
Boom.
I think
That's
loud and scary,
they,
boy.
they got
Cannons.
That was
Boom.
I think
That's
they're
loud.
superhumans,
They,
and
they make a LeBron.
they made like somebody who
So you know he a mutant.
they made somebody who
Straight
could
up.
who could self implode at any moment, you know, like combust, like spontaneously combust.
Well,
That's my theory.
Yeah.
my theory is that they probably testing something over there they don't want you to know about, so they ain't gonna tell you about it, so you will never know what it was.
Right.
Right.
Well, that is NASA.
Yeah. They are they still at Paramount Pictures?
Who, NASA?
That's where it started at.
Well, I think the moon's still over
Here
there.
we go. All right.
I believe the moon's still over
I
there.
think they relinquished all their stock into that. I think they're not no longer the stockholders in that part of the business.
You got to present information. You understand?
You just sat here and presented a conspiracy theory that you don't.
And I said that is my theory on it. But if you're gonna state something as just a statement, you know what I
I'm
mean?
just saying that's what they say.
They.
Yeah.
Who's they?
Who's they?
Right. I've been trying to figure that out all my life.
They mysterious like a mother.
For real.
They been saying shit forever, and I've been trying to find out who the fuck are they, but ain't nobody tell me, so I'm just telling y'all they said it. Shit. They.
I'm just trying to be, you know,
That's a
unbiased.
hoored ass beat back there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's hoored.
Yeah. That's not like production right there, though. You already know.
Yeah. But you know, I'm just fucking off, man. We having a good time.
It's a
We
good
not,
Saturday.
you know. I'm
First
just,
Saturday of the month.
yeah.
This the first?
Don't take me.
Yeah, first Saturday.
Don't take me serious like my name right now.
But we have to. That's your
But-
name.
I know.
No, he just beat out right now.
Yeah, I'm beat out
Beat
right
out.
now without the serious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just beat out right now without the serious. And the beat out without the serious, I ain't got time for all that serious shit right now. So, I'm trying to enjoy my high. And therefore, that leads us to some more music. We'll be right back. Y'all keep it locked right here. This is WLYF 9 Life Radio.
Go to the moon and smoke a J on the moon.
I wish I could.
You talking about high?
Huh? You talking about high? Y'all
No,
talking
can you
about
imagine
high.
being high with no gravity?
welcome back to the Stonnerzzz Den. I am B. Serious.
I am Bob motherfucking Stone.
And I'm Rizla Rala Sativa.
I am Jay Presidential.
I am DJ Cool J in the building.
Yes, sir.
Well,
I am Don Cornelius. This is the soul.
I am Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It was Fuego. Anybody at the Fuego?
So light. Here you go.
Lighter.
I left my shit at the crib, man.
Left my lighter at the crib. I left my lighter at the crib.
And that is
Yeah.
a preview from B. Serious' new single, Left My Lighter at the Crib. It is going to be released on an original 9 Life beat you can purchase.
February 39th.
Just listen for the.
So y'all heard how passing weed is so childish?
Yeah, that's what
Who said that?
So that would Wiz Khalifa and Sonny Digital. You know what I'm saying? They think that passing weed around doing sessions, you know what I'm saying,
so
is a
childish.
thing
I
of the
get-
past. It's like
I
it's
guess
childish.
everybody
I
should
get-
have
see,
their own
Rasta-
anyway.
Rasta don't
No.
really, most of the time when I grew up, I never saw Rastas passing splits.
Never.
Now, what I will say though, when Rastas would have like a ceremony and they use a chalice, they'll pass the chalice around. Because really, herb, as far as Rastafari was concerned, was like a spiritual thing. So it was like having communion in church when they pass around the communion, you know?
Right.
It was that kind of vibe, you know? And then even like hippies in America during the 70s and stuff like that, you know, it was like
Before we
a community thing, you know?
Yeah.
Before
So
we
that's
get
where
started,
the passing came from, I think.
let's say thank you to Fafa Hollywood for that food, man.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Appreciate it.
Sure.
For
Yeah.
real though.
Give thanks and
I'm
praises.
talking about a
For that
smorgasbord.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks and
very
praises for that.
Unsuspected and
Thank you for the
grateful.
food, man.
For real though.
Most definitely. Wish you was here for these topics.
Yeah, because we had to
Yeah,
switch our
yeah.
whole show around.
Yeah, we
since
thought,
you were
thought,
not
thought she
here.
was gonna be here.
Because we needed a female perspective on our original topic, but we're going to continue on another show when she is present so we can have that female perspective.
Or any
Okay.
female that want to come up and be a part of the show, hit us up. Let us know. You know what I'm saying? But
On that note,
on that note, we're going to get into...
So we have in our society today, we have different households, how households are made up these days. We're looking at patriarch versus matriarch. For those of you who don't know, patriarch is traditionally the male head of the household. Matriarch is when the female assumes that role and becomes the head of the household. So
Big Mama them.
yeah, so we're trying to figure out if there is a huge gain or loss with having one or the other, or not experiencing either one.
Now, I feel like to some degree, because you could put it on a broader spectrum too. It could be not so much the household could be a matriarch or patriarch, but the society itself, right? Because, for instance, in
she said, "No, that spot is taken."
oh no,
Okay.
She said,
We just talking about visitors.
I mean, yeah, just visit. I mean, I would like to have more than one.
She is no longer a visitor.
But you're definitely a part of the show.
we need
she headed this way
But,
now.
Oh, she
Oh,
headed
okay.
back.
Yeah,
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay,
we
we
could have.
We'll
We
bring-
could definitely have
That's
finish
crazy.
what we wanted to
so,
start.
but
we'll
we're gonna run with
touch
the
on the matriarch
yeah.
thing for now. You know, the matriarch
Yeah,
and
so-
patriarch thing. But on a society level, what I was trying to say is that during different periods of time, especially in Eastern cultures, I'll put it like that because I don't even want to make this a whole race thing every show, right? So let me just
Yeah,
put
thank
it in that perspective. In Eastern cultures, many civilizations and societies were matriarch in certain natures. Now, the man still possessed the same male roles that traditional societies and patriarch societies would have, as far as the providing, the hunting, the more physical
Right.
acts of the household,
Right.
as far as that's concerned, building the house,
Right.
things like that, right? But when it came down to like a community making a decision, they would go to the eldest woman and see her perspective on should we go to war with this tribe? Should we try and move to this land? Or, what can you speak to the ancestors for us, in different cultures? They would go to the woman for those things. They would also go to the men, because you had medicine men in certain cultures.
Yeah,
You know,
chiefs.
You had chiefs in certain cultures. But ultimately, if there was an elder woman,
Yeah,
she was considered like the
say so.
final
The final
say so.
Let's
You
just
know-
make that clear. That's only in certain cultures.
No, I said in certain Eastern cultures.
Yeah,
Right.
Right? Now, in Western cultures, that was never the case. Right? Which I think helped to develop what we're going to speak on when the Empress gets here. Right? Which is the role of man and woman within the household.
Yeah.
Right? And how now in present day Western culture, it's almost like taboo to be anything different. And if it is different, then that's when, the issues or the debates start to be present.
Yeah.
You know?
I kind of look at it from the point of my grandparents. My granddad went to work every day, took care of the whole house. My grandmother took care of the food.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? She made sure everybody eat, but my granddad provided the money for the food. She provided the food.
Of course.
So
There was a structure.
yeah.
That is traditional.
So my thing they did
In
it-
Western.
right? That's traditional
Yeah.
in the Western.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But but like I say, even in the matriarch societies, that dynamic
Right.
still exists.
No, right.
You
And it
understand?
still exists.
Yeah.
Right. It still exists
That's
today.
why I say that it didn't necessarily change the household dynamic,
Right.
because the society dynamic was different.
But I'm
But
gonna tell
even
you,
in that dynamic, who controlled the spiritual aspect in the house?
the matriarch.
You understand? And ultimately, you control the spirit of a man, and you control everything. You know? So if you're the person who's in charge of, hey, we're going to church Sunday.
Right. Because
You
you think
understand?
about it, every
Right.
man will sit home and watch football. It's the
Unless you-
mom who's getting the kids together.
Yeah,
My,
you know?
like
Yeah.
the grandparents.
That's
the
the
grandmother
the-
was the one
you
who
know?
was making sure
And-
you
and
was at
that
that
comes
church.
from the matriarch society.
Right.
That's where that came from, and that only exists in the. I mean, it exists somewhat in different communities, but predominantly in Eastern descendant cultures, that's what you will find.
Right. So I mean, but at some point, they decided to come.
I'm sorry. She keeps typing, so I'm like,
Oh, okay.
are you driving?
Oh no, don't text and drive.
Yeah, do not text and drive.
Are you
please.
driving?
We need you
We
here
can,
safe.
we can wait.
Yeah, we need you here
But-
safe.
We're
At
gonna
some
wait for
point-
your input, so just be careful because
some
this is
point-
a long paragraph. She takes. Are you driving?
At some point,
Get it out.
She voice noted.
yeah, she voice noted it. But at some point, they wanted to come out of the house and get from behind the
That
pots,
structure. Yeah.
the stove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at some point, you have to respect that, and then at some point, living traditional, you don't respect that.
But see, here's the collusion.
Right.
When you step out and change your role,
Mm-hmm.
who is there to fill your role?
Right. See, that's the problem. That's where the problem lies.
There's a space. There's a void, and that's what the problem is in a lot of our communities.
If there's
There's
no
a-
grandparents.
But
Right.
even
Let's
with
just
a
say that.
grandparent,
Got it.
right? Look at it like this, right? Because a grandparent, you listen to everyone in your family different. You understand? A lot of times, the one who you listen to the most sincerely is like your uncle or an older cousin,
Well,
someone who's closer to your age and is not so biased when it comes to, you know, what your decisions are and stuff like that, right?
right.
That's usually the one that you gravitate towards the most in revealing your secrets and stuff like that. The one who's the least judgmental and the one that's the most relatable, and that's usually the younger person in your family or whatever, right?
That's hard in my family.
I'm just saying that's if you do have that dynamic, that's usually.
Everybody gonna talk shit about you and my family.
I'm just saying, you know, and it doesn't mean that they're gonna keep your secret. I'm just saying the one that you feel comfortable.
They don't care about your
talking.
secret.
Yeah, I'm just
They
saying.
gonna talk shit about you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in a sense of having that kind of dynamic. In, you know, a lot of us might have an unorthodox dynamic, but I'm speaking in a more orthodox dynamic.
I feel
You know, in a more orthodox dynamic where you have mother, father, brother, and sister, you know, uncles, cousins, and stuff like that. The one who's an elder, who you might go to first, is probably not going to be your parent.
probably an uncle.
It's probably going to be like an uncle or something like that, you know, and or even a friend of the family sometimes, you know, stuff like that. But that's where the whole village concept really came from as well, because it takes a village to really raise a child correctly.
Right.
You can raise a child in many different circumstances, but to raise a healthy, emotionally healthy child, someone who knows how to deal with different problems, healthy, you know, in a healthy manner, it requires that kind of village dynamic.
Right.
You know, because you need the wisdom from a grandparent at certain times. You need the wisdom from your parents at certain times,
Right.
and other figures within the community.
All the
as well.
elders.
Exactly.
When I was
So-
growing up in the 70s, my mom would send me up to Georgia to my
Why
my
you gonna put
grandmother.
yourself
My,
out there like that? This old ass nigga.
well,
Go ahead.
you want some wisdom, you know.
No, for real.
I would go there, you know, every summer to my grandmother's before my great grandmother died. God bless her. She died at 109 years old. She would send me to my aunts, to my uncles. You know, I would. So it does take a village to raise. That's how
And
I
that
was
shaped
raised.
you.
Yeah.
And
shaped you.
that shaped me.
You have a lot of aspects to you in your character
Right.
because of that.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
you learn different things from all those different members of your family.
Right, exactly.
Because they're different. Even though they might share similarities, there's difference within them, you know?
And the bad shit that I didn't want, I knew not to do. So
Yeah.
And sometimes you learn from some of your family members' actions, you know?
True.
The early 80s, when you know, then almost every black neighborhood was a village.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would
'Cause
say
you gravitated
I would
to
say
your friend's house.
Then, but the most significant amount was pre Civil Rights Act. When segregation was still intact,
Yeah,
that's when the black
Then
village.
they had no choice.
Exactly.
You was amongst
Yeah.
everybody
That's
black.
what I'm.
Well, I'm talking about after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Because
it
it took
lasted
a
up
while
until
to
the 80s.
destroy
Until
that.
the 80s.
It took a while to destroy
Well, up
that.
until the crack era.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was
That's what
the-
they sent.
That was when the
destroyed.
destruction happened. Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
that destroyed all homes.
Yeah.
That's what separated.
Because it
To
took
me,
fathers
Yeah,
out
when
of
they
the
saw
To me,
house.
my
when they
opinion,
saw
to
the
me-
villages were strong,
right?
they sent in the
They
crack.
sent in, because I honestly grew up in Hollandale, and in Hollandale, every store, everything down Foster Road was black owned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
In
And
my
successful.
neighborhood too, every six trunk,
Right.
six trunk as
Successful.
well.
And
Right.
it was successful
Everything
because
is
that's
They all were
they were
successful.
all patronized by the people in the community
Right.
and people
So-
outside too.
Then early 90s, here comes the Arabs and all of these other people.
Yeah.
So now, like you were saying earlier, we was just talking on some conversation, just having a conversation about
We gonna
The
get to that when
difference.
you get here.
the difference between now
Nature,
and then.
yeah.
I mean, on the
Society
on
and
society,
household.
yeah, in the areas that was all predominantly black, they not predominantly black anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, I think, is what changed the home front. What they put in the neighborhoods to kill the neighborhood, as far as the unity of our people.
And don't get it mistaken. It's not just when we speaking about this particular topic.
we speaking from experience first.
Right.
Say that.
But you could also look at it. It took place in every other community also.
Oh yeah,
But the biggest trick was everything goes up in prices. So now you can't have a woman stay at home and just take care of the kids. They need a two-income family
The
to
man's
survive in most
income
cities.
wasn't enough.
Right.
Yeah, one income ain't enough. So you need both people working. So that also takes both people out of their role most of the time because you trying to put food on the plate.
Now nobody can cook because you're both getting off work late. You got to send the kid to a daycare after school.
Right.
You know.
So where they go get their knowledge from?
School and daycare.
They ain't getting it from school. They getting it from YouTube.
They're getting it from
the parents
social media.
Social media.
But I'm just saying
they ain't got that. They ain't got that family around them. Those uncles, those grandparents that everybody can just pop in the door and say, hey, go drop you off at this house and chill out and learn something. So because of that rat race we in, that's the biggest trick.
Yeah. They made everything expensive.
The woman got to get out of the house to help out.
The dynamic that we once had.
Because the father is definitely not getting paid enough now.
Listen,
to take care of the whole family.
Nah.
Like I was working 2 jobs at one point, and I was still living check to check.
Right.
That's how it goes.
What's
crazy.
the point of that? You understand?
Right.
Like I was working 70-something hours a week. You understand? That's 14 hours a day sometimes.
Okay,
15 hours.
Do the math.
and that kind of work leads to stress in the home.
This is what I'm saying.
Because now you and your significant other having
I'm coming home
having
stressed.
problems because now you stressed out, you tired.
I ain't want to change no
she
diapers.
might just want a hug.
Yeah, I'm
You know
snapping
what
about
I'm saying? But
anything.
you
Just
snapping,
little
hey,
shit.
man, what the fuck?
This dinner's horrible.
Yeah, you know,
Because of the
Like,
job.
and
Because
she's
of the
like,
job.
fuck, like
Right.
I fucking took care of the kids all day,
right.
cooked, clean.
She been stressed too.
You
She been in
understand?
there with these kids all day. She got to do this. She got to do that. So it's bringing a stress in the home also.
Unneeded, unwanted.
Yeah.
Because you got to look at a male. Well, I can look at it from a female point of view. She at home being herself, being real all day, every day.
Right.
But we as men, we go out into this world. We have to put on a mask to deal with these people all
Right.
day, every day. We'd have been hurt somebody.
Right.
You be done going off every day you walk out the door. So you really got to put on a mask to walk out the door every day to deal with these people, especially on the 9 to 5. So when you jump off, you come off, you want to, sometimes you take the stress out in the wrong place.
And we're not just talking about one race. We're talking about everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody goes through this.
Everybody.
If you can maintain I won't even say a traditional, but if you can maintain a family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can stay married, stay with your kids, everything. Like you could stay together, make things work. That's one of the most dangerous things to so many businesses. You don't even have a clue because that dynamic, that family dynamic, changes so many things mentally within people. You understand?
Right.
Like that change. Just hypothetically, let's say there's a large amount of people taking antidepressant medication because they have daddy issues because daddy wasn't there.
Right.
So if you lower the amount of households with children with that quote unquote daddy issues, you're going to lower the amount of people who are going to require or take antidepressants because of daddy issues.
Right.
Right.
Another-
So that's just a hypothetical.
Another shot from the crack era.
Yeah, exactly. You understand? So, and it could go for so many different things. You understand? Like the products that people buy would change.
Right.
You understand? The content that people watch and listen to would change. You understand?
The food that they would eat, the type of
everything would
exercise,
change
getting out
because
of the house, doing exercise.
that's what
You
I'm
do all
saying.
these things with a
Fast
family
food,
environment.
Like how you were saying that people don't have time to do anything. So the fast food restaurants are flourishing because people don't have the time to sit or even the energy to sit there and want to cook a full course meal for their family because they just work 2 shifts. You understand?
Yeah.
Shout out to all those people who created companies to deliver fast food. Y'all smart and evil at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, and then it's like, see, like the thing about capitalism, and this is going into a whole nother thing. To some degree, it ties into the patriarchy because capitalism and patriarchy tie into each other because capitalism comes from the idea that Whoever can get the most should have the most, and if they have the most, they have the most power, and if they
To
have the
control
most power,
everything.
then what they say
Let's
goes.
give them the number.
Right? So
If you want to call in on these topics, I'm sorry to cut you off, brother.
Yeah, no.
But if y'all want to call in on these topics, hit us up, man. It's 754-231-5884. That's 754-231-5884. Hit us up. Let us know. Chime in.
now look at this, because it's like what they would say, like a necessary evil, right?
Right.
So you come from poverty, right?
True.
Somehow you get some lump sum of money. You decide to invest in a fast food chain because you know that it's profitable. Now, are you nefarious? Are you considered evil now because you technically have
partaking in this capitalism.
right? But now you have lifted your family from poverty,
Right.
right? And you start getting people in your community jobs and everything, and you're doing all these different things that are technically positive, right?
So that shouldn't be. You shouldn't be referred to as a capitalist.
Right?
At that
But
point.
this is the thing, right? Now,
You
in
should
order
be-
for your business to be successful, right? You have to make sure that the budget for supplies, the budget for employees, the budget for rent, the budget for repairs, the budget for all these different things that make up your business on a daily level, right? That all of them are reaching a certain amount so that you can still remain profitable,
Fact.
right? So a lot of times the methods in which you have to keep that window of profit above a certain notch can turn you into the capitalistic monster that people paint, right? Because look at it like this, right? Say for instance, you start your business off, right, and you're using fresh ingredients, and you're using all natural this and all natural that, right? And now the price that you're charging for your meal or whatever is not sufficing, compensating all of the employees, compensating all of the overhead that you have to spend within your restaurant or your store, right? So now you start looking for cheaper options, which is just normal from a numbers point of view.
Right.
You got to say, oh shit, I got to spend less on tomatoes than I've been spending because I'm not profiting enough, right?
So what's positive about that,
So this is what I'm saying.
other than the money you making?
This is when it starts becoming a counterproductiveness.
And it will. With everything you do, you look at, let's just look at the food industry. Anything they start out with, it's popping the first couple of months. It's fresh, it's hot. You go there and it's good. Yeah, after they get you a good following, then they want to slow down on the service. And the food started changing, and the amount started getting less. It happens with everybody. It's the same hook. It's a hook and reel.
Nah.
So when you're doing that, it's going to happen regardless. So you're going to become a capitalistic person in this society.
Now watch how this ties into the whole patriarch thing, right? So boom, right? Your
Got
goal,
we're waiting on.
your goal, exactly. I know your goal in capitalism is to what? Like I just said in the beginning, to become the most powerful you can possibly be, more powerful than the next person, with a better plan than the next person,
Right.
and a better idea and all of that, right? So if that's your goal, you'll achieve it no matter what. Once you make that decision to do no matter what, that's when the family dynamic is completely out of the window because you don't care about your family.
You're thinking about you and money.
You understand? So there'll be moments when you'll choose your job over your children, or you'll choose a meeting with a business partner over your anniversary dinner with your wife.
That's
Right.
part of the
Yeah.
climb too, brother. That ain't part of just the success part of it. That's part of the climb too. Because when you're trying to get to that point where you own a fast food restaurant, you grinding hard. So you done already left some people out of space thinking like, well, where daddy at? You know?
Okay.
So it's the process.
Okay,
It never
so
stops
so
until the
then
day
it's
you
like,
die.
but then it's like, so then at what point do we as a society, because we decided that this was okay, like capitalism didn't just like, hey,
Because
know?
they gave you a
Like-
role, say you the patriarch, so stick
Right.
to that role.
okay, but at the end of the day,
The patriarch of
the
society too.
patriarch, by you chasing this capitalistic patriarch ideal, you're destroying the family dynamic, which then takes the patriarch out of the family. So then there's no patriarch at the end of the day, technically,
Big.
because if there's no male in the household, then the household is not being run in a patriarch way.
True,
Because-
but I just want to ask Big a question.
Yeah.
What time your grandfather went to work and came home?
Maybe 6 to 6, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day, right?
From
Pretty
sun up
much
to
every-
sundown.
Pretty much every day except like Saturdays and Sundays.
Was your grandfather word his bond?
Always.
So the grind takes you out the household, but what you've instilled into the household never leaves.
No, that's a fact.
Oh, see, no, but I'm not talking about that dynamic, because that dynamic was fine, because that one income that his grandfather had was sufficient for the family. You understand? Like they weren't wearing fur coats.
No, but
they-
he had a fairly good job.
That's what I'm saying. And most men who had families
Yeah.
at those times had enough income to provide for their
And
family.
he had 6
Oh yeah,
kids.
I know. You could
That's what I'm
you
saying.
could have a factory job and put your
Yeah,
kids through
Mhm.
that's
college.
what I'm
and make
saying.
the
Yeah, he had
household.
But
six-
now,
He had 6 kids.
now because that wasn't a capitalistic thing back then. Even though technically capitalism
It
existed already, right? No, but I'm talking about him, the worker. The worker wasn't thinking it from a capitalistic perspective. He was just trying to pay enough for his family, right? But now, because of the sickness and greed of the capitalist ideals breed, right? One job that the male works is not sufficient as it used to be.
All right. So we got that out of the way.
Well, we gonna come right back because this is a good ass topic. I appreciate it. The queen made it.
Yeah.
Okay, the queen. We gonna be right back. Y'all keep it locked right here. This is WLYF 9 Light Radio. These. Yeah, that I mean that that always helps. Welcome back to the Stonnerzzz Den.
Turn us up. There you
Yes,
go.
yes, yes.
Yes, I.
Welcome back to the Stonnerzzz Den. I am B. Serious.
I am Bob Stone.
I'm Rizzler Rala Sativa.
J Presidential.
DJ Cool J.
We gonna welcome the sister in the house. We got the queen in the building. Hit her with your name one more time. Y'all heard her. Y'all already know what it is, man. We still going on these topics. We gonna come back on that topic that we was talking about earlier, and now we got a new. It's the same. It's on the same topic, but it's a new topic.
So basically, what we want to do is look at it. We would love your input if you want to call up here and give us some too.
Please,
We trying to figure out
754-231-5884.
what we trying to examine here is the difference between a patriarch and a matriarch in the household. Is there an advantage to having a household where you grow up with a male in charge? Is there an advantage when there's big mama in charge, the female, if the male is not in the house versus the male being in the house? We're just trying to see if there is, in today's society, is there an advantage to having one? Or are you missing out with not having the other? What's going on with society?
If you have anything to say, hit us up. 754-231-5884. But before you call us up, we're gonna get the queen's perspective of this. Welcome back to the Stonnerzzz Den.
That's why they call me the engineer, man.
Welcome back to the. I can't hear.
Yo,
Yep.
Yeah.
Mic check. Everybody.
Mic check, mic check.
Can I get a mic check from everybody?
I ain't got no Mikey.
No
Mic
mic.
check, mic check.
I can't hear myself.
I can hear
I
you.
can hear you.
Mic check.
You hear me?
Yeah.
You gotta pull the mic up.
Talk, princess.
My earphones.
He just turned you down because I heard you.
Sorry, people. We're trying to get the mics back right.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, I hear you. Pull your mic up though.
1, 2, 1, 2.
To your face, I'm saying. So you,
What you mean?
oh, okay.
Just keep mic checking yours
Can't
until.
see.
Oh, wait, she did.
That was it. One more time.
That's it. You just had it.
She was in.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is she showing up on
Can
that?
you hear yourself? Because I can hear you.
I can hear her.
I can.
I hear her.
I can.
I can hear her in the headphone. I can't hear her now.
I can't hear her now.
You was pressing something earlier. She was. Just keep checking.
Going in and out.
Well, it ain't in the headphones there.
Nah,
No.
made it worse.
Mic check.
Okay, I hear it now.
We're having
Technical
technical difficulties with the microphone for our guests. Y'all bear with us. I'm sorry. Still don't hear in the headphones though. So
Yeah.
no, you don't. I can hear myself. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I hear prayers.
I can hear me.
I hear her in the speaker, but not the headphone.
Right.
Yeah, do that.
Go say something.
Check,
Yeah, that is.
That was it. Say something.
check, 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 check,
She in. We just gotta
Check.
turn her down a little bit.
check, 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 check. Now it, okay, there we go.
Can y'all
Now I
hear
can
me?
hear you in the
Check, check,
headphones.
check.
So what you do?
Huh? One side, one side, one side. Let's see.
Check, 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 check.
Mic check 1, 2.
I hear both sides.
Mic check 1, 2.
Check.
Why do they stop at 2?
I don't know.
Only one side.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I hear both sides.
Yeah, I hear both sides.
I don't, but it's all good though.
Okay, I'm surviving.
Check, check, check.
As long as you can hear me, right?
All right. So,
Turn my music high.
hi everybody, man. We're sorry. We appreciate y'all for staying tuned in with us. We had a little technical difficulties with our mics and everything. We're gonna get right back on topic. I appreciate you staying online with us. Thank you very much, very, very much.
Yes, yes, yes.
I know what the problem was. It was they.
They.
They did.
They
Mhm.
did.
Right.
They
They always up to something.
Always up to something.
It's always them.
Can't trust them.
Right, big brother.
Yeah, they say, you know what? They talking about some good shit.
Yeah.
Families.
Crack era destroying their families.
Restoring the
Couldn't be true.
dynamic in the household.
The village. Yeah, they got tired of all of that good talk. Let's cut. And they got a woman in there. Oh, they're together.
Yeah,
That's not supposed to be
unified.
right.
Yeah, you're right.
That's not right.
Unification.
Can't have both of them in the same
Right,
household at the same
right.
time. No.
You know, yeah. Thank y'all for stopping our show. But guess what? Here we go again. Welcome back to the Stonnerzzz Den. I am B. Serious.
I'm Bob Stone.
I'm Rala Sativa.
J Presidential.
DJ Cool J.
It's Fat Hollywood. You already know what's good.
In the building.
So we're gonna get right back to the topic, man. Hit them with it again, Prez.
Patriarch versus a matriarch.
Mm.
Is there benefits to having one? Are you at a disadvantage in society when you don't receive a traditional one? We know that in our society we have all type of households that are made up of all kind of ways. So is there a benefit? Is there less stress? You know, Google, they say it's less stress for women when they're part of a matriarchal society. They endure less stress on their lives because of that. So is there an advantage? Is there a disadvantage? Let me know. What number can they call up in and let me know? If they want?
754-231-5884. That's 754-231-5884. Hit us up.
Yeah, you peeking.
I think most of us grew up in a household where it was mom and dad, you had your grandparents. This was a male and female type of situation. So,
Facts.
we could only speak to that. If there, I know that there's some advantages to any and every situation. There's a disadvantages. I know Fat was just talking about how, her dad had to go to work. She didn't understand that at 10.
Yeah, no. It does make you resent the parent that has to work the most. And when I called myself, got brave enough to actually bring that up to my dad, voicing my opinion to him. And he simply responded to me by saying, shit, I had to work. I had to work. It was simple as that, right? And we were very fortunate, still am. My dad paid my college tuition cash. And I went to a private university. So... we went to Disney World. We were able to go to every theme park every summer.
Perfect.
Hotel resorts, all of that good stuff. Again, I do believe that having both did make a better structure for me as a woman as a whole. And I say that in comparison to seeing other women my same age or a little bit younger than me, and the things that they fall into or fall for. I'm able to curve that or dodge that because I had key building stones at a very, very young age that I know I would not have had if I didn't have that structure. My daddy working the way he did allowed my mama to be home with us 24/7.
Preach.
Right, which allowed her, one, she wasn't stressed out enough to, come here, baby, let me tell you this. Come here, baby, let me teach you how to do this, and don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to get a lot of quality time from my mom because my dad set it up.
Mama.
In that, yeah.
In that. R.I.P. to take off, man. I just had to do that, though.
But yeah, I do believe it's better to have the two structure. But if we're speaking of one versus the other, I believe having a woman in the household would be more beneficial for a child than just having a father. One, because a woman can feel more voids. As far as love, cooking, nourishing that child, and implementing. First of all, I think it's kind of contradicting to even say or an oxymoron within itself to even say which one is better. Because for the man to be in the household by himself, who taught him how to do what he's doing?
Fact.
To give it to the children. The woman did initially. So what we really talking about, which one came first, the chicken or the egg? Right. So it all started with the woman.
Mama.
I ain't never met a man without a belly button. Tell you that. You ever meet some? They talking about a woman came out of my rib. They said a woman came out of my rib, but have you ever found somebody without a belly button?
Hey, hold on. I gotta say this real quick. A lot of people ask. My son is my youngest child. He's 4, and I got 3 girls before him, a set of twins, and my daughter just turned 12. My entire life shifted once I gave birth to my son, and I'm gonna try to explain it as best as I can. It's hard to get other people to see what your inner thoughts are. But as a Western society, growing up in a Western society, I'm taught that the man is superior to me. He's stronger than me. He's this and that and the third. But the day I gave birth to a man, I promise you, spiritually, emotionally, and everybody telling me you shouldn't have favorites and your son your favorite, and everybody can tell he surely is. He truly is.
Sorry, everybody
I'm
else.
so sorry, and they know that. The other ones know that, but it just is what it is. But I, in that moment when they held him up and was like, "Yeah, this is your baby," I realized I just made you.
God.
You can't make me. I made you. So the whole concept of superiority, or which one is superior, you can't break what you ain't make. I made you. So, but yeah, it was a very
It took a goddess.
Yes.
To make a god.
Yeah. Y'all remember, anybody seen the movie 300?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when the dude comes in, the black guy, and he's like earth and water, there's a small snippet where Leonidas turned and he look at his wife for the yes or the no.
Yeah.
Before he kick him in the hole. And when she nods, yeah, go ahead with it. I'm all with it.
That goes
Then
back to
it
that
goes
final-
down. Yeah.
About that final say.
Yes,
You know what
yes.
I'm
Cerseus.
Kick his
Yeah.
ass in the hole.
Yeah.
saying? Xerxes.
Xerxes.
Yes.
How you kick Xerxes in the hole? That's
Yeah.
the king
Kick
of
his
the
ass right in the
Nubians. Did y'all get that?
Yes, of course I did.
The whole scene of that movie. I ain't mean to get off
Go
topic,
ahead.
but just the scene of that movie. He kicked the king of the Nubians in a hole. Ain't no way.
Ain't no fucking way.
Not gonna happen like that.
They 300 motherfuckers against the whole nation of Nubia.
Nah.
Ain't no way.
Well, that's Hollywood for you.
Like a motherfucker. Along with all
300
the
lies.
300 lives. But yeah, let's get back on topic.
Music playing.
Or we can go to the next topic. Or better yet, y'all, we took a break. Did we take a break?
Yeah, we took
We took a break.
Go to the next one.
to the next.
I think we could still touch more on that
All right.
because because then we also have, like how she said, you have it's somewhat of an oxymoron, like which is better, the man having just a father or having just a mother in the household. But you do have those dynamics, so then you have to look at what problems come with it.
I think
What things usually come with. I know for me, because I grew up with the dynamic with a mother and a father at first, right, to the age of 9, and then I lost my mother. So then after that, I just grew up with a father, right, and he was kind of like all over the place, different women all the time, right. So I could say just from a personal perspective that seeing my father with a whole bunch of different women all the time, and never really just staying with one and not treating them very well, right? It kind of like warped my perception of how am I supposed to go about this whole relationship thing, because I know what a marriage looked like, you know, and I know what it could be ideally, but then he lost it and was like, F it, and just, you know, went and soiled his oats, you know.
But he
So-
could have also been emotionally detached from the loss.
That's what I'm. No, that's what I'm
Definitely
gonna say.
what that is.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't
but as a
think he was
child,
soring his oats.
as
I
a
think
child,
maybe
I
he
didn't
just
understand that.
Right.
As an adult now, me being a father myself and not being with the mother and having that dynamic of having to be with my kids on my own when I have them, right? that gave me a different perspective on things, because I resented him for a long time because I'm like, damn, I should have lost you instead of my mother. That was my perception on it for a long time, because I'm like, shit, my life got hard when my mother died.
Right, I understand
But
that.
I don't feel like it would have got that hard if it would have been vice versa, you know? Because even when they were together, my mother was the one that really like
The glue.
kept things together, you know?
Yeah.
The main
So-
child of the family.
So that let me know that to some degree, because if I didn't have that mother for that 9 years, I feel like I'd be a really like grimy person.
You feel like some things will be missing.
Yeah, no, but I feel like the ability to have, what's it called when you feel empathy?
Empathy.
The ability to have empathy wouldn't have been present. The only reason why I'm even able to have that empathy is because of that motherly love that I did get at an early age. Because if I didn't, I'd probably be a monster.
So that's the same thing what
right.
I'm saying. So some things will be missing.
I think
Yeah,
me myself, I personally think it's just a balance thing.
Exactly. It's always
It's a
about
balance because you got to have that balance from your mom and your dad.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And once you get that, then you understand. Like, I mean,
Because if I would have just had her, right, I might have ended up being real soft and feminine and couldn't deal with life stress and all types of
and
stuff, you know?
another thing we bring up, like my mom, she raised me by herself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But she had my grandparents.
And you had
I
a
was
lot of
raised
male
half by
figures
my
with you.
grandparents. I had my uncles teach me all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? So
And you
I
had
had,
brothers.
yeah, and I got brothers, but I had cousins.
Yeah, at first.
You know, because of my grandparents was able to take all their grandkids and raise them all of us was in my grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? Like all my cousins. She took all her grandkids and we was in the house together. That type shit. But we learned from having both people in the house to going, we moved with our mamas. You know what I'm saying? And it's just our mama in the house. Now it's like, okay, ain't no real father figure in the house, but your mom, who was raised by both parents, was able to still handle both roles because she understood the balance. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
She got the balance from her parents,
From her parents.
which
Right.
allowed her to deliver
Right.
the same thing to you, regardless.
Right,
if that
because
was a
mine
win-win
gonna be
situation or
solid.
not.
Yes.
Right. So that's like the sister, like the queen here.
Yeah.
She probably has that same balance because she had both parents in the house. If you don't have both parents in the house, you don't know
have
that
that
balance.
foundation.
You have to
It's
seen it
yeah.
done before.
Right.
It's a foundation.
Right.
Once that foundation is laid, that's why even ultimately, like I say, I had that foundation in the beginning. So even though it disappeared later on, it didn't completely
Right.
destroy my perception of things or
Right.
warp my way of thinking.
Right.
You
The
know?
balance was set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying?
I wanna first thank the brother for being transparent like that. We live in a society where black men, especially, but men in general, but especially black men, feel as though expressing any type of emotion is like breaking some sort of rule or something.
Right. Don't be
but-
afraid to cry.
Right, right. And I actually my friend lost his mom, and I literally had to tell this dude, like, bro, you lost your mama, dog. Like, ain't nobody judging you for crying, bro, at
Yeah.
all. Like, but I wanted to say this. Our perspective on life is based on our life experiences. So the human being that you are is a collection of all of your life experiences, starting from when you're small to now. So if your life experiences, like he was saying, was without a mom or without this, that's what makes up you. And I think they knew that when, like y'all was speaking of earlier, the crack era and all of this stuff, separating the black man from the house. So now that these things are missing, there's things missing out of this person. And now you have, I like to call them zombies, a bunch of zombies walking around, because there's so many holes and voids in you that you can't even consider yourself a whole person. You know what I'm saying? You out here trying to figure out who you are versus knowing who you are at the starting gate. You know what I'm saying? And just succeeding and doing what you want to do. You spend 90% of your life trying to figure out who you are.
that's the
People have midlife crisis and still ain't figured it out.
And still ain't figured it out. You got 50, 60-year-old black men that still hoe-hopping, still doing what, you know what I'm saying, running around because they're still searching for, which I believe a lot of that comes from not getting that pat on your back from a little kid as a black boy, not having your daddy come to your football games, not having this, you know, this male figure in your life telling you that, hey, you did a good job, son. So now when I fuck Keisha, Tanya, Sarah, John,
manhood.
yes, it reinforces this. You did good. Gangs, it's the same thing. I believe it all ties into the same mindset of this approval from another man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, damn, dog, you got 10 girls. Man, that bitch calling your phone. All of that comes from that pat on the back that you didn't get. It's an insecurity. A void, like we keep using that word void. There was a void there from a small child that you're filling with superficial things versus if that void was filled.
I'm a interject because we all are black men sitting right here, and we can't just let her ride with that one.
I'll go ahead.
I'm just letting her ride. Though.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
She had a very good point, very valid points too, and I do think that it applies to some people. But you have people that may have started out, you know what I'm saying, with the fairy tale type of situation where you see them meet the girl, get with the girl, love the girl, and then the girl break your heart.
Right.
And that turns you into something too. That turns you into a
definitely.
monster.
And I can speak
Because
on that one too.
You might have tried to do the right thing, but then, you know, it didn't work out.
Right.
And today, you say 50, 60-year-old man hoe hopping, a lot of that is due to the fact that we're going to have to get on this topic another day.
No, that's on my show.
No.
Yeah.
We're going to have to come
to your show.
to your show.
We can hop on the whole hopping.
It's the day.
Go ahead.
It's the day.
No, what Charlamagne said, black men don't cheat.
I'm gonna let you finish and then I'm gonna check in.
It's the chase of a relationship that really don't exist, because I seen it in high school where the girls didn't want to talk to us. They wanted to talk to the older guys standing outside the school. They was out there chilling, and they could take these girls back, get their nails done, and do things that we in
Bring
school
them
guys
McDonald's for
couldn't do.
lunch.
So, yeah, you know, it started way back then. It ain't just on the insecurity part of the male. You know, the
Y'all
female set
laughing,
the
I'm
traps
saying
too
too.
early on in life.
It's like supply and demand. One doesn't exist without the counterpart. So it's like, so it's just like how they say, they're polluting the airwaves with trap music. Yeah, but people want to hear it.
Yeah.
People want to hear. So if people don't want to hear it, they're not gonna make it. It goes hand in hand. It's a supply and demand thing. You're only gonna supply what's in demand. Now you can shape the market
And make
at some
something.
point.
That's
and
what
put
I was gonna
something.
say.
They
At
can
some-
make it and put
at
it.
some
Make
point.
it in. They can make it.
Yeah,
In
you
demand.
could
put
make it in
demand.
demand, but ultimately, you understand, it's still a person's free will. You can
Right.
influence
You
a
can't
person's
force
decision.
nobody to listen.
You understand? You could subliminally put these ideas in people's heads, you know, but ultimately they make the decision.
Yeah, in a minute.
Right after Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Well, I'm
No,
just
go
gonna say, I was raised by just plainly women, and it is about your environment. And what I came up through is like seen that the women are more of pimps than men.
Are you speaking of women that come from broken homes too, though?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not
If we ran a
necessarily.
poll on that, you know.
Not
And
necessarily.
two, just because we spoke of that earlier, too, just because you have two parents in the house don't mean you had two good parents. I preach on that as well. Having a daddy in the house and having a father, those are two
Well,
different
with-
things.
With my mother, I had both. She was both. She was the father and the mother because she didn't take
She could switch.
no crap. Because she picked cotton and she came up through that life where she had to struggle. But she made ends meet. I never see my mom without a job, always hustling, always I'm by her side through fights, through arguments, through everything. I mean, a woman takes on a lot of heavy role raising a kid
you
by
better
themselves.
believe it.
The women from that.
I've
era was-
seen it, so I grew up with
They were
it.
built for a tough boy.
them- yeah.
And that's
Well,
why
what?
that's why us kids that grow up the way we do, respecting women, and if you keep your child next to you, he will respect a woman. He will not treat another woman a certain way. He'll treat her as a queen. I've instilled that in my kids as well. So it's your environment. It's the way your mom brings you up. It's her past, what she's been through, and how she wants to raise you, and what she wants you to do. My mom, I walked out of 12th grade, and it broke my mom's heart. But I graduated years later as an adult, and she watched me walk the stage. So I knew what she wanted, so I went after what she wanted. What I am today is because of what I wanted to be, because of what she wanted me to be, and what she still instills in me today. And I'm glad she's still living. She's the last matriarch of our family, basically. And once she's gone, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, because the way our family's been, with the arguments and no reunions. And see, I could tell you about a past, a family that's broken, but we all try to stick together, the ones that really want to stick together. And that's because of the generation that we grew up in, because we know our family's past. So we try to change that, because our past had grown up in the slavery, the cotton picking, the nigger, I hate you. I've walked through streets in Georgia, and white people just call you by the nigger or whatever. So I walked through that too, what my mom walked through. So I saw, and when I had kids, and where I grew up at on 6th Street, Skid Row, Sunland Park, I took my kids back to that, because they are half white, they are half Jewish, they are Italian, black, they're all that. So I didn't keep that away from them. I wanted to, but I chose not to, because I wanted to show them where I grew up at and how I came up. Dodging bullets, selling drugs, trying to make ends meet, but having a job, always keeping a job. I never not had a job since I was 15.
I come from watching your mom.
That's come from watching my mom.
Yeah.
So it's the environment you come up in and how you want to raise your kids. They see and they watch everything you do. So don't think they don't see it.
That's very key, too, is because a lot of people believe, well, I taught my kids not to know. That's your mouth. That's what you telling them. You telling your daughters not to sleep around and don't get pregnant, but you got a different dude in your crib every other night.
And they see that.
Right.
And they see that.
It don't work that way.
Kids are downloading.
My oldest daughter has a boyfriend she's had since high school, and now she's 30 with 5 kids. Actually, 6, because she just had a girl. Little Jimmy, 2 daughters. Got a job, his own business, whatever. Now see the oldest one, damn near a millionaire. So it's what your kids see in life is what they'll do when they grow up. Keep that in mind.
And to some degree, I say a lot of times it might not be a majority thing, but to some degree, every now and then you have that child that can see beyond what they saw too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not.
Shout out to everybody on Instagram, because they are talking, and as they hear us, they are talking and talking back. I got a big paragraph here I got to read off.
Yeah.
Tell them to call in now, 754-231-5884. But we going to come right back, man. This is WLYF.
You are right. You are right.
9 Life Radio.
The environment shapes the youth, and as adults, we have to be accountable to the ignored traumas that will ultimately direct our lives as well as raise our youth. That's from M. Spiff.
Tell them to call in.
Call in, bro.
Post the number on there.
Yeah, I will. What is it?
754-231-5884. But we'll be right back. This is WLYF 9 Life Radio.
754.
Yo,
Yo. What good? What good with it? Shit, what happening with it, Spiff? Yeah. Uh, right. Uh, right.
fact. Facts.
That's facts, bruh.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Yeah, we definitely losing. Definitely losing.
Yeah, man. Shit.
Appreciate you calling in, man.
Definitely appreciate you calling in, man, and you know what I'm saying, drop. Yeah, for real, man. Appreciate
you,
that.
man.
Yeah,
Spread the
man.
word to the other people, man, that need to tune in too, Spill.
And yeah, and we definitely got to get you in here too.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Most
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
We definitely got to get you in here too for that.
For real, man.
Where you from, man? Where's you from?
Spiff, where you from? Spiff, let them know where you from.
Holla. Y'all. Y'all here,
Yeah,
man.
for real, for real.
Appreciate you tuning in, man. We're going to go to commercial real quick, and we're going to come right back.
Right.
We got a couple of more topics. Keep it locked right here.
All right,
Y'all keep it locked right here.
Peace.
Y'all keep it locked right here. This is WLYF, 9 Life Radio.
9 Life.
others.
Get rid of it.
Yes, yes.
They could do it with it. They could kill the
Feedback.
cow.
Welcome back to the Stonnerzzz Den, man. Everybody that's tuned in on all social networks and all platforms, thank you for tuning in. And if anybody else want to call in, hit us up, man. That's 754-231-5884. That's 754-231-5884. Hey, man, it's been a big thing about. We spoke on the last show about the Kyrie situation, but the minister had something to say this time.
You got a clip of that? That's what we should be having, a clip.
You know what? I was thinking about hitting them with a clip, but I said, nah, they can go and check it for themselves. It's on YouTube.
Find a clip.
Hold on real
You
quick.
can play
I think I have it.
Play it through the phone. Yeah, let's do that. We have technical sound here.
That's fact.
He
We
had a
do,
lot to
huh?
say, though.
Yeah, he had a lot to say.
Because he spoke on Kanye, too.
I'm sure it's on
He
YouTube
spoke, yeah,
somewhere.
he spoke
And
on
then
both.
he spoke directly to the Jewish community
Right.
that had spoke with him. Because he had
Yeah.
to go, when he was labeled anti-Semitic, he had a meeting with
Anti-Semitic.
a lot of high
And he kept
level,
telling you, I can't be
Here's the
anti
clip.
myself.
Here's the clip.
Turn 'em up.
You didn't want to hear
Turn
that.
it up.
You know you came from us. You know that you are not the father of humanity. We know our history and we know yours. We don't like what you're doing to Kyrie or to Ye. And when we see how you want to break him, destroy him, to keep him from saying anything that might enlighten our people. Do you know when you mess up his mind like that, he can't play? I saw the man playing ball the other day, and he missed every shot, almost. He can't play with his mind in that state. And when his brother Kevin Durant said, I don't like none of this, he's not saying he don't like the movie. He's not liking what you're doing to a man who wasn't doing nothing against you but searching for greater knowledge. And you decided to break him. You decided to put fear into men like Charles Barkley and LeBron James and other black men who have become rich and powerful. You wanted to say, you were saying to them as you were lynching Kyrie, you all better get the point. You all better get the message. They don't want you rising up into that knowledge that will make you a real man and not a glorified punk.
We gonna leave it right there. Stop it right there.
Yeah. We can stop.
Saying something that is anti.
My bad.
Stop it right there. Y'all heard him?
Yeah.
Glorified punk. Tell me about the red, black, and the green. The keys.
Glorified punk.
Man,
Yeah.
that's a. And see,
Crazy.
that, like I said, he said a lot. So it was like, to just paraphrase that is impossible. Because he said so many different things. But I really want to touch on a point that when he brought up the fact that he met with these rabbis and leaders of the JDL.
Right.
Because when you're labeled anti-Semitic, they go through this whole like, oh, okay, well, we're going to educate you, right? So he had a dinner, Saturday night dinner with his whole family, and then
Right.
they came. It was a great dinner. They had great conversations. And then right after the dinner, one of the rabbis goes to him and says, okay, so now we have to, get down to business or whatever, And he basically tells him that he wants him to undergo like this whole like education on why, it's not right to say what he said, and they want him to recant his statements, and they want
to denounce the book.
To denounce his book, because they put out the book, the secret relationships between the so-called Negro and the Jew, or is it the secret, or blacks and Jews? I think.
Yeah,
it's
blacks and
Jews.
The secret relationship between blacks and Jews, which details slavery and a whole bunch of other things.
A whole bunch of facts.
That are facts.
Truth. Yeah.
And truth that can be backed and proven, but that are ugly truths.
Right.
And truths that are sometimes hard to take.
Right.
When you're the person which these truths are somewhat painting not a pretty picture of, right? So they explained to him that they were going to monitor him for like 2 months, and at that point,
it was 2 years.
Or 2 years, okay. And at that point, he was like,
Supervised.
this is not, like, I'm not about to agree to this,
No. Get it right, brother. He say, you could give us your answer now, or we're going to go upstairs and have some dessert. We're going to have some cake or something. So you can give us your answer now, and you can think about it and give it to us later. He said, let's go have some cake.
Yeah. And then they told him that they basically threatened him.
Right.
They end up basically threatening him. I'm just going to put it as that. They pretty much threatened, like, look, like, we can make this go away and make your name better, or we can make it worse.
They told him they'll get rid of all of the stuff that he pretty much said about him if he denounced that book.
Exactly.
Well, technically, the whole dinner itself is a threat. All of it is intimidating behavior.
Well,
the whole deal.
He
wanted to go.
Yeah.
He was happy to go to that dinner.
He will meet with them.
Because it was at his house. He invited them.
They invited him to theirs first.
Oh, okay, but he was
and
like,
then he
no.
invited them to his, and they said no.
declined.
Oh.
Yeah, they declined.
Okay.
So that was So that's the thing. Just like he told him, my only reason for we wanted to pull it up for one because he said something, and I'm happy he said something because I know he went through the same thing. You know what I'm saying, and I know he had that
on a
meeting.
more severe level because he was vocal.
Way more vocal than any. And Kyrie didn't do anything. Let me just say that
off top. That's the first point.
Let's just say that. All he said, he just posted something and he ain't say nothing about it. He just posted it that
you posted a link.
This is something y'all need to go and check out.
Basically, and I think we touched.
That's
on
all
that
he
a little
did.
bit.
Oh no! I just got to say this about the minister though.
That's all he did.
The minister said, "When y'all be out there smoking that the reefers."
Y'all sharing.
This is the Stonnerzzz deal. We got to keep it 100.
And there's nothing wrong with y'all sharing.
Play that back.
The minister said,
you call your homies.
the minister said, when you get that good, when you get them good reefers, and you call your homeboy and tell him you want to share it with them, because it's good. So. He fucked me up when he put it in that perspective.
That when I heard that.
Never, not from the minister. But it was cool. It was cool for him to put it in that perspective, especially for us. We the Stoners did. So, because I definitely, if I get some good shit, I'm going to call my partner.
He
That
sounds like somebody's mama.
Knowledge and he was trying to share.
Right. He found some knowledge and he was trying to share.
He ain't like, he didn't say, I agree with this. He didn't even say anything. So he gave you the option to just, look, watch this video.
Right. So I can truly say he did nothing. But the minister, the minister said a lot of things in there. I probably still got some of those VHSs around somewhere. But
I had a question real quick though. Why do you think that he's still around and they haven't done anything to him versus
that's a whole nother topic.
I know. But you got Malcolm X, you got the King, and then you got him. What the difference
so
is?
This is that's a complex question because it could be a lot of theories about that. On one end, it could be that this person is just heavily protected, right?
The Nation of Islam is protected. He has a lot of security, bro.
To some degree, right? That could be one of the things, right? Another thing could be that maybe he's created partnerships with enemies that are still his enemies, but that it would be
a Batman needs a Joker situation.
But that too, that's another theory. But then this one, which I'm gonna say, it could also be like this, right? Sometimes for you, and I guess it ties into that, because for you to have a counterpart, right, is almost necessary for your cause, right?
Yeah, in order for God to be God, there needed to be a Satan or
you understand?
kind of thing. That's what you mean?
Yeah, like there always has to be this counterpart. There always has to be a counterpart, a protagonist and an antagonist. You understand?
So you're saying
Positive
he's instrumental
he's
tool? Okay.
Pretty much.
But it could also be, it could be either conducive to their plan, right? Mm-hmm. And they're using his presence or allowing his presence. Because ultimately, when you're not wanted around, you won't be around. And
right. I mean, look at Bob Marley.
Yeah, there's nothing that you can do about it.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah,
Marcus.
Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
So that's like a very, like I said, a complex
everybody,
question.
Dog.
But he just dodging bullets though. He just he's invincible.
But he's had attempts on his life.
It's been a lot of attempts on his life.
And even his health.
And a lot of attempts on his health. He has believers. Let's just say that. A lot of believers.
A lot.
You know how certain people have communities, and those communities have these huge walls to keep everybody else out,
right?
Keep their people in. Also, it also keeps in beliefs, right? It keeps in security. And it keeps out any kind of way of you getting in there to get to him. That's what he has with the nation.
He knows how to move.
The nation surrounds him. These guys don't
look
even
at his
carry
movement.
Guns.
He hardly goes anywhere. I mean,
they don't even carry guns, dog.
Right.
These guys,
their hands,
like he said, believers.
Weapons.
And he has surrounded himself with a community of these believers who have.
And it
basically
just didn't
protected.
start. He actually inherited a lot of beliefs.
It sounds like Wakanda to me.
So,
Like,
I mean,
like-
that's ultimately
Nation of
that's
Islam
ultimately
is
what
Wakanda.
that's ultimately what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad,
was-
peace be upon him, was attempting
In the
to
beginning.
create. You know, that
I
was
say
the
that.
whole idea.
But
That's
no-
why there was a mosque in every state that they could
That-
possibly have. You know?
That they were everywhere,
Yeah.
and they still are,
And they
Yeah.
still are.
and they still doing certain things.
I mean,
That's why no matter what, no matter how many, because to me, Malcolm was the greatest black man ever.
right.
When it came to
Just period. To me, personally, like
Yeah.
I was asked as a child what I want to be. I said I want to be Malcolm X. You understand?
I was Malcolm X in
You know?
in the school
So
history.
I
class.
hated Farrakhan for a long time because I feel like he's responsible for
Responsible,
Malcolm
yeah.
X's death.
Yeah,
But
Right.
yeah.
To
But he
some
wasn't-
degree, he admitted and even apologized for his role in what caused the death. He wasn't responsible
He wasn't
directly,
responsible at
but
all.
he did influence the decision for the person who ended up making the decision, because he even said he made a speech like very close to Malcolm's assassination, where he said, and he apologized to Betty Shabazz later on in the 90s for this. He said, anyone who speaks against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is worthy of death, right? And Malcolm ended up speaking in the public, speaking out against things that he...
In his defense, that was his early years on trying to become a minister.
Who?
Farrakhan.
I mean, yeah, but
Right.
just ultimately,
He was actually
But
a
he-
junior.
the way that it looks,
Minister
because
at
this is
that
the
point in
like
time.
this is in the court, right? It's not about what it is, but it's how it looks.
Right.
So like if this was like put on trial, right? So now you give that speech, Malcolm X gets assassinated,
Exactly.
and then you become the head
Right.
you become the spokesperson, the lead spokesperson for the Nation of Islam, the position that Malcolm held.
Right.
So it looked like any jury in America would be like, it's your fault.
It's a lot
Yeah.
of it's a lot of. I mean, back then it was a lot of ministers.
Of course.
I mean-
He wasn't the only one that spoke out against it.
Right.
He was just the most influential one at the
Infamous.
time
Right.
that said that. Because everybody in the nation was like, off with his head. Because this to Malcolm's defense, Malcolm was crushed by the stuff that he found out, or the stuff that he
Well, see,
was exposed to.
we're gonna get into that on another show.
Yeah.
But y'all keep it. You know what? Y'all keep it loud right here. We're gonna come right back. Welcome back to the
Back.
Stonnerzzz Den,
Back.
man. I am B. Serious.
Yes.
Bob Stone. God damn it.
Rala Sativa.
J Presidential.
DJ Cool J.
Fat Hollywood, what's good?
And in today's bizarre news,
Holy crime Batman.
not that one.
I want to give a big shout out to iHeartRadio and YouTube.
We're doing Smoky Barbecue.
Smoky barbecue.
Yeah, that's what we named it. In today's, everybody here done have smoked barbecue before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently this woman didn't. she
I want to try some smoked meats.
she called the police on a barbecue restaurant because her meat was pink.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
But that's how it is when you smoke the meat.
Everybody here had smoked barbecue before, right?
Thought it was raw?
Apparently she
never
She
had.
wanted her brisket burnt.
She didn't want it pink. She thought it was raw because it was pink.
Okay.
Let's see, the only thing that really turn pink is chicken, really, most like poultry.
Well,
But the poultry turn pink because it absorbs that smoke.
no, you have a pink ring in the
Yeah.
brisket
No,
also.
brisket is more red.
Yeah,
But
still,
I mean,
but
they mean like the color.
you
like
know,
they thought it was
pink,
raw.
red.
No, I understand that. What
Yeah.
I'm trying to do is show the distinction.
Oh, okay.
Right,
That, brisket is
Yeah.
more red when you smoke it.
right.
But chicken
Chicken will
when
be
you or
pink.
poultry,
Yeah,
when
it
you
turns
smoke
pink.
it, it looks
Yeah, it
really
looks
pink.
Right.
Even though you got this burnt ass skin on the outside,
Right.
you think it ain't
Because the
cooked.
inside didn't get any flame. It just got
Yeah.
Right.
smoke, the heat.
Rock, can you speak it to the mic, bro?
Yeah,
Oh,
you-
my bad.
Yeah, you gotta speak
No, I'm
right
saying
into the mic,
the
dog.
actual flesh didn't get any
Right.
flame. It just got heat.
So yeah, this woman calls the police on these people.
Can I ask what color this woman was?
Barbecue Becky.
Barbecue Becky.
Oh shit! But
I smell the mayonnaise.
hey, I was just saying,
And the
that's-
raisins.
she need to get out more. You need to get out more.
She's melanin challenge.
Well, that leads us to our next.
If you ever have a soup challenge, do not try the bat soup.
Bat soup.
The bat soup.
That sounds like something from a pho restaurant.
That was
No,
that's what they had.
Well, it was a restaurant in Thailand. Nah, I'm just tripping.
Oh, sure.
No restaurant. But a woman was arrested for eating bats on camera. You know what I'm saying? She was sentenced for 5 years. Hey, don't
Where?
judge me how I say her name now, but for sure.
Oh, she's not from, so it's not America. Where is she?
Chinese, huh?
Nah, I'm from Thailand.
Thailand.
Oh, it's
No,
illegal to
sir.
eat bats in Thailand? I seen them in the market.
Shit. Yeah, it's in the market, but I don't think it's legal
That's
to
the
eat the
black
motherfuckers
market.
on video.
They
on
got 'em
camera,
on the
though.
white
There
market.
must have
over
been
there.
an endangered one.
They got them on the white market.
Man, she had a bowl filled with some broth and tomatoes.
With a face.
Now,
hanging
what
out.
is this world coming to when a nice young lady just can't eat a bat
Hey, the
to
bat,
herself?
hey, the bat look like it was backstroking in the face all over the bowl.
I'm outraged. I'm outraged. When are people going to be able to just eat bats and live free?
They got the bat
Yeah,
bowl
man.
soup. They got
Yeah,
the
man.
bat bowl soup.
Yeah, so they arrested her for possession of protected wildlife.
She got possession.
I feel like if you eat one animal,
I mean, if you want to eat a flying rat, that's on you.
that's what I'm saying. Like, unless there's
flying
not a
rat.
lot, unless there's not a
We got
lot,
Dave them here.
you know,
Yeah,
maybe
man.
like it's endangered. Then, but if you're gonna eat an animal, what's the difference?
Yeah,
Does a
yeah.
bat taste like
One
chicken? Any
man's
research
cow
on
is the
that?
next man's dog.
I guess after being stewed for about 8 hours,
It all tastes the same.
All tastes the same.
In India, they don't eat cows. If you Hindu,
Hey,
they
that
don't
boy-
eat cows.
Hey, that boy face was up in the bowl though.
The little teeth was sticking out.
Yeah, he just floated.
Like he was growling when she killed him.
Oh man, that's terrible. She just threw him over in the pot like some
I'm
crabs.
talking about some hot broth.
That's terrible.
Hey, how many of you have eaten unknown bat? That's what I want to know.
That
Because a
part.
lot of these restaurants,
That
you
part,
have
yeah.
little knowledge of where the food actually comes from, especially if it's ground up. How you really know what they ground it up?
You know what? That's why I don't eat it. bro.
Look how she got
Yeah.
that thing. Look how she got the bat though now.
Yeah, he
She got the
sitting
thing
up.
spread it out.
Yeah.
Damn.
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, I guess it would have to
I
be a
hope it
pretty
was
big
worth it.
bowl.
She got eggs in it?
Man, she got tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
That's like
Stewed tomatoes.
some brown stew.
So that's stewed back.
5
Some
years.
brown stew
Brown
back.
stew
That's
back.
a real that's a real BLT right there.
She got carrots chopped up in that bed.
That's a bat.
Bat lettuce
Bat
and
lettuce.
tomatoes.
That's amazing.
She got some carrots chopped up in that bed. Hey,
Oh
man.
shit, she got man. So yeah, she'll be going to court soon. Well,
5 years for a bat bowl.
How do you believe?
Bat bowl soup.
How do you explain that to your children? When mommy gone to jail because I was eating a bat. Like, how do you explain it?
How they explain that to their friends?
oh man, hey.
My mama had bat.
I mean, if you got a bizarre story about some food or whatever, man, call in.
Yeah, hit us up,
754-231-5884.
Please call in.
You know what I'm saying?
Bizarre news. Anybody got any bizarre news? Hit us up. Anybody hit us up, man. But that leads us to our next thing.
Know your role, OG.
Know your role,
Are you tired of coming home to a dirty house and no food made?
bro.
Well, we have a new strain for you. It's called Know Your Role OG.
Bruh.
Just give your wife a nice spliff of this Know Your Role OG and she'll be spanking new in no time.
Bruh.
Know Your Role OG when she just doesn't listen anymore.
Bruh. Bruh.
Bruh.
Okay, the herb of the day. I don't want to get in more trouble than I already probably.
Oh, hold on.
You ain't telling about that
caller.
strand
We got
for
a
the
caller.
man, too.
Got a caller.
Hello? You on the air? Hello?
Peace,
Hey.
peace,
We're good.
peace,
Yo.
peace.
All right, then we got that out of the way. Right. Crazy. Right?
Oh, man. Got some grade A ribs.
Oh, man. I thought they'd be bigger than that.
She looking for them bones.
Thought you about to get a, thought you about to get a slab.
Rack. Yeah, a whole
Shit,
rack.
A whole rack.
Oh shit! Yo, shit!
Thank you.
That's how you get it right, though. That's how you get it right.
And we appreciate
Appreciate you calling in.
We damn sure appreciate you calling in. Thank you for that one.
I'm sure you saved a lot of orders.
Day right there.
You saved a lot of orders in that story.
Oh shit. All right,
Peace.
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 You know, her story kind of helping people out too in the future.
Somebody told me they thought hamburger was pork.
Because of the ham.
Because of the ham.
Because of the ham.
No, I had a homegirl.
That is a good question, though. I mean, I thought for a little minute, my damn self, you know what I'm saying? Well, damn, where the ham come from?
Why did they
Why
name it
just
that?
ain't call it beef burger or something like that?
Well, ham-
Where the
It
ham
must be
come from?
German.
Hamburger.
It's something
It comes from German name.
It must be in like sandwich.
Oh, yeah,
Like
hamburger.
a
Come from
burger
Hamburg.
sandwich.
Hamburger.
It's come
Yeah.
from
Hamburg.
It comes from a German name.
Hey, the funny part. Hey,
Man, they
let
ain't
us-
invented
They
that.
had the-
the
the Burger
Mr. Willis.
Meister.
That's Mr. Willis.
Oh, the ghetto burger.
Oh, the ghetto burger, yeah.
We thank everybody for tuning in, the callers, everybody that called in. We appreciate you. That means you was tuning in. Everybody, man, thank y'all for tuning in on all social networks. Make sure y'all check us out next week. Same time, same bat time. Same bat time. We just ain't eating no motherfuckers.
Holy soup fry, Batman.
Y'all keep it locked. This is WLYF 9 Life Radio, and this was the Stonnerzzz Den. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. See y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.